You better learn about me, nigga. I do this shit for real. I put niggas on the ground on my mama. I do this shit. That's about me.
Not on your daddy though, right?
Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Millennial Smark, and I'm bringing you the slop, the whole slop, and nothing but the slop. Timestamps are down in the description box below, also located in the pinned comment section below. No, not gonna review Dynamite tonight. The car looks gay as fuck. With that being said, let's talk about what we gonna be talking about today, if you don't mind. So, apparently Ross Sapp goes on a complete tirade, absolutely crashes out on everyone over a joke, an obvious joke, so obvious that the account literally has in its name, "Hey guys, I'm a fucking joke, don't believe me." We'll get more into that in a little bit. Apparently Jimmy Coderas, the old referee from WWE, gets into a back and forth spat with this absolute fucking psychopath. Mark Henry has a take, so you know what that means. Duck for cover. And apparently there's this viral video going around on the interwebs about Mario or Luigi or someone of that category or whatever wrestling in a ring. People are taking it too seriously. We'll get more into that as time goes on, but with that being said, let's get right into the video right now, shall we? Shall. Okay, so check it out. It all starts off like this, right? There's this wrestling account, and mind you, there are multiple wrestling accounts just like this. I think I even talked about it not too long ago, a couple of months ago, when they were framing another wrestling channel as far as spreading misinformation about them or whatever the case may be. But it's to the point now where there's so many of these accounts, right? Where they'll make their names super duper close to whatever the news outlet is. And I don't think it's just for wrestling. They do it for basketball as well. It's just a phenomenon that's going on in social media right now, right? Well, this account is supposed to be a playoff of Wrestle Features, right? It's the other wrestling news account that circulates on Twitter. This one is called Wrestle Features, and it has underneath his name parody account. Keep that in mind, okay? They post this news article link, right? Or they made it up, obviously. It's obviously made up. They said, Liv Morgan is expected to return tonight at Raw. She is expected to join the match between Nikki Bella and Stephanie Bakir. And then he added Ross Sapp, which is making it look like he's a source, right? But the thing is, it's under a joke account. That's the joke. That's the fucking joke. Well, apparently Soy Boy Ross got so butthurt over this, bro. He responded with this, right? So I guess he caught wind of this. He said, "Hey guys, do me a favor and mass report this page at this point. This isn't parody, it's just misinformation and making an effort to undermine people's credibility." Dude, you are a wrestling journalist. You are a wrestling journalist. It's not that deep, homie. It's wrestling. It's wrestling. You're talking like you're fucking on the field in Al-Qaeda or some shit like that, and someone is sending misinformation over the seas that Al-Qaeda has now joined friends and World War II is going to begin or some shit like that, or World War IV or World War VI. You are a wrestling journalist. Get the fuck over yourself. Holy shit. But it gets worse, right? Because I guess one of the people caught wind of this, right? And they had this is one of the more recognizable exchanges Sean was having about this whole situation. So you have Sean actively trying to deplatform a joke account because his little name was mentioned underneath the joke account, where as clear as day it says parody. He says, and I quote, this is another person responding to Sean Ross Sapp, "If I don't believe the report, I'm just not believing it. I don't need a hall monitor telling me what pages I'm allowed to read. People can think for themselves without your rage tweeting orders like the boss of Twitter. And quite honestly, I think it's appalling that you've lost your sense of humor over some wrestling news. Shake my head." Yes, because, again, It's not that fucking serious. So, of course, Sean Ross Sapp says, fuck, you're stupid. The guy responds back by saying, it's insane how you can go from wrestling journalist to an Xbox Live trash talker from a simple comment. Your ego has more of a crack in it than my ass. Yeah, that's something else that always killed me about Sean Ross Sapp also, right? He wants the professionalism, right? You're gonna tag my name inside situations that have nothing to do with me. I want you to understand that I don't like that because I'm a professional, damn it. I am a journalist, a wrestling writer. I report on wrestling. But then you turn around and that same professional writer goes on a fucking tirade and starts cursing people out whenever they clap back at his stupid ass, right? So he says, sounds like a medical problem. I guess that's supposed to be a clap back at Buddy saying, your ego has more of a crack in it than my ass. Of which this guy said, suddenly you're a doctor now too. Nice burn, holy shit. Solid. But like, it's not that deep. It's not that serious. Most people understand that it's not that deep and it's not that serious. But Sean Ross Sapp sees it and he says to himself, it's an attack on who I am as a person. Okay, this is all I have. I have nothing else going on in my life but my career. And my career is this. And I don't like it when you undermine my career and my business because that's my life. Like, dude, shut up. Shut up. Shut up. No one cares. No one cares, little bro. It has parody underneath the account. Okay, I get it. Most people are like, well, the spelling kind of looks like this. Then let the person who that is actually harming most likely come out and say, hey, that's not us, guys. Follow us, don't follow them. And let us, who are following this account, laugh at you guys who are crashing out over something so fucking minuscule. Something super duper minuscule. It says parody account. Right there. It's clear as day. You go down the guy's homepage. Okay, you go down his own page. He is literally making joke posts after joke posts after joke posts after joke posts. It's like, I don't understand. Do you think everybody's fucking dumb and that we can't read the headline? Do you want people who can't read the name of the person following you? Following your news? All right, if they're that fucking dumb where they can't see the big parody headline right there underneath the guy's name, then I guess that has more of a problem to deal with you and your dumb fucking followers. But I love this so much because Wrestle Feet Trace, I guess you got to say it like that, the parody account, he actually clapped back by saying Sean Ross Sapp, but he put asterisks in between the letters of the name. From Fightful, also asterisk between the name, reports that Charlotte Flair will be the one turning heel on Alexa Bliss at War Games during the match. Right choice? Sean Ross Sapp. Pretty much trolling them at this point, because when you go out of your way to show your weakness, to show your vulnerabilities to trolls on the internet, that's like blood in the water for piranhas and sharks to go for, because you're a fucking idiot and you essentially said, hey guys, I'm very sensitive over here, please, over here, sensitive. Why would you do that? Why would you? And on top of that, this guy right here made fun of people like you. So your response of him making fun of people like you is to deplatform him. No one likes anyone who deplatforms someone, Sean. No one. He's using my name on a joke account. When you click on it, it clears. I can't stress this enough. It says parody account right there. As I'm reading the comment, I have to have my eyes go past that part where it says parody account. I have to dart my eyes to the right and read that part. It's right there in my same field of vision. Sean Ross Sapp with asterisks right there saying parody. Again, I don't know what it is. Are you outwardly admitting that your followers or people who follow you are fucking stupid and they can't see that part and they can't decide for themselves? Like, what are you doing here? Or again, it's just one of those things that hurt your little fucking ego. I think it's probably the second part. I think I'm actually being charitable here. I'm saying that it actually is the second part because I don't want you to lose money or lose fans by insinuating that you think that they're fucking stupid and that your readers can't read. Who am I kidding? No, I'm not. I don't give a shit what you do. But no, you're fucking retarded. But it goes even further. It gets Even better, folks, the soyness. Oh, so much soy. This guy Machiavelli went out of his way to actually screenshot all these conversations with Sean Ross Sapp. So I said to myself, let's read each of the comments that he went out of his way to respond to in the midst of this so-called quote-unquote drama slap. This guy said, it's literally a parody account. Don't be mad and just leave him alone. Sean Ross Sapp says, if he wasn't crediting us, tagging us, and sending harassment our way, I would be leaving him alone. Sending harassment your way, you say, huh? You know, sort of kind of like what you're doing to others when you go back and forth with them outwardly. You know, I love that too. How someone can have an opinion, like I'm talking about something like completely unrelated. Someone can have an opinion on Sean Ross Sapp or some of his takes when he reports them or something like that, right? Just a flat out basic opinion. And whenever Sean Ross Sapp responds to them, he typically ratios the fuck out of them, right? And underneath the ratio account, there are a lot of people attacking that person for said opinion. I don't understand why it's always a fine thing when Sean Ross Sapp is the one in position to do the ratioing and the one in position to send the harassment somebody else's way, but when it's underneath his account, I'm sorry, what? You're deliberately doing it. This guy is just having fun and trolling, and that is supposed to be the same. Continuing on. Don't tweet him, clown. Sean Ross Sapp says, say that 5 times fast, go fuck yourself, dweeb. Is your credibility in the room with us? No, sorry. Your 7 followers filled the room. Oh god, that's so cringe. Dude is actually talking about people's followers. My dick is bigger than yours. I got more subscribers than you. Do you see my dick? It's big. Let's see your dick compared sizes. This guy says, hey Sean, you do know targeted harassment and getting others to flag an account is against the rules of Twitter. Maybe stop getting mad over a parody account and go get some air. And then Sean Ross said, he said, damn, bro, your name is, I hate your name. Sean Ross Sapp said, maybe go fuck yourself. Yes, very exquisite, indeed. This guy said, you can clearly see on his profile, it says parody account. Sean Ross Sapp says, and you can see on his page where he's lying about us, reporting things, and tagging us in them. Underneath the parody account, the joke kind of doesn't work under the parody account unless they're tagging you. Because the point of tagging you underneath the parody account is to show that they're making fun of you. Because that's the point. Okay, this guy says, so by your metrics, we should be reporting you as well. You have posted misinformation and wrong takes. What makes you special? Wrong takes. And to be fair, that comment's kind of retarded right there. Yeah, I gotta give him props. I'll give him credit on that. I mean, besides the fact that he responded to a bunch of nobodies. But hey, don't we all sometimes? Don't we all sometimes? Sean, stop it. Stop. Chill. It's not that serious, okay? Deplatforming people over a joke. It's not that serious. Pretending as if you're anything but a professional. You're not. You're not. We just been over that. We just went over that. You're not a professional. This is wrestling. None of this is exactly serious. I'm pretty sure them saying this, it's not gonna hurt you. I mean, physically, maybe mentally. And by fist, I mean FISCALLY, not physically as in PH. Fist as in money. Okay, it's not gonna hurt you. Only thing that's hurting is your ego, and that's why you're upset. So stop being butthurt. Get over it. And let's get to the next topic, boys. Stop you platforming people, you motherfucking skibbity.
Yeah, 2 and oh shit! Oh yo, pass bra. Dude, go around. Oh my god, dude. Yeah, I'm fine.
Jimmy Coderas, former WWE referee, the guy who was in the ring when unfortunately Owen Hart passed on, made a mistake. Folks, he made a horrible mistake. He ended up giving his opinion online. And I don't know if you guys recognize this. I don't know if you realize this. doing such sacrilegious things, it gets you into a lot of trouble that I don't think most people are prepared for. You can't do that. You got to stop giving your opinions online. Jimmy says, I was talking to someone and they asked me if I view Hangman as AEW's version of WWE's Bret Hart and WCW Sting. I replied asking him what he was smoking. He said he saw a tweet making that comparison. I said, that's an insult to both Sting and Bret. Good Lord. That's about as objective as one can be without actually expressing their opinion, because who the fuck in their right mind would ever compare Sting or Bret Hart to Hangman Adam Page is beyond me. But apparently someone didn't take too kindly to that, right? So it continued on. One person said, damn, why is everybody taking shots at Hangman all of a sudden, right? And you may say to yourself, Devontae, there's nothing wrong with that comment. See, that's where you're wrong, because we're not talking about that comment. We're talking about the person who responded to that comment. This insane retard said, simple. He didn't buy into Phil Book's bullshit, so the WWE employees attack him as an AEW prospect. Now, if it was just left at this, that'd be retarded enough, right? That'd be dumb enough, right? Someone can simply not have an opinion about a guy. Now, if you want to make an argument that Jimmy Coderas could probably be looking at some, because a lot of people do that. I might even do that from time to time. Actually, I do that from time to time, where I will see someone that I grew up with, or someone who was a colleague of mine, or someone who I seen front row seats actually have success, right? Because I was there to witness all of that. Sometimes I might have in the back of my mind a little bit of a bias, right? Where someone can objectively bring up someone and say, hey, do you feel that this guy's on par with this guy? But because I lived through a time, or I was there for the time when I actively seen this person's success, that automatically means that this person over here cannot compare to them, even though I'm not directly there to witness it. That's the bias. It has nothing to do with CM Punk. It has nothing to do with him being a WWE employee. It has everything to do with his prerequisite bias in regards to who he was around at that time versus who he's not around right now. It's no different than seeing people talk about hip hop music or talk about music in general, and they always say that the older music is better than the newer music. But of course, this guy's a bumbling retard, so of course he goes directly to the AEW defense because he's projecting, because that's how he thinks, right? So Jimmy Corderas caught wind of that, and like I said, if it just ended at that, this wouldn't even be a talking point, right? So Jimmy said, "Cry me a river." Obviously a play off of Jungle Boy, right? Making a joke, dude's trolling essentially. Not that big of a deal. But of course, because bumbling retard has to make it bumbling retardation, he has to clap back with this. Why did he clap back with this? I don't fucking know. He said, you ever reminisce about when him and Vince murdered Owen Hart? And you were there? Cry me a river. Then tell your dead dad you're proud to work for sex traffickers. Now, somebody in the audience tell me why a guy having an opinion about wrestling and then responding with "Cry me a river" feels it's necessary to re-traumatize you because Jimmy was in the ring when Owen died. There's also even talks that Owen told Jimmy to move out of the way. Now, I'm not saying that's correct. I'm not saying that's true. But there has been rumors suggesting that Owen told Jimmy, that was his last words, was "watch out, Jimmy." Don't know if that's true or not. But nevertheless, Jimmy was right there when Owen passed on. Pretty sure Jimmy and Owen were most likely friends. Why? What made you do that? And then to put icing on top of it, I guess Jimmy Coderas' father passed on. So now he's bringing up his dead dad. And all of this is a way to clap back at WWE. Now, mind you, the whole sex trafficking thing has everything to do with Vince, right? Vince one time no longer runs WWE, but because he's created and synonymous with WWE, that means anyone who works for WWE is now, I don't know, relating to sex traffickers, because what would be the other reason to bring that up? So apparently you re-traumatized him by bringing up probably one of the worst experiences in his entire life, and the death of his friend most likely. You unceremoniously brought up his dead father, and you related him to sex trafficking, all because he decided to diss AEW, of which he didn't diss AEW. He dissed the wrestler from AEW, and the reason he dissed the wrestler from AEW has nothing to do with AEW, but more so because he probably has a bias to older wrestlers. This is the type of delusion we're messing with. They're insane pricks. Damn, that song would have been banger if I would actually made that make sense of it. Let's look at what Jimmy said as a rebuttal, okay? Jimmy said, "Fuck you and the broken condom that spawned you. Now go back to your dad's basement. Hell." Yes, indeed. His dad's basement. Because that's clearly where this guy comes from. Again, I don't see the point into why he responded. Of course I do. He's a wrestling fan, obviously. But, I mean, like, do you people see the things that you type? Do you see the way that you respond? There's nothing in the world that response that you just said, there's nothing in the world that Jimmy has ever said in public to get that type of response or warrant that type of response. The fact that you said it with such ease, it just speaks to how fucking demented you are. Can we see how you look like also? I want to see how you look like. Of course. Another neck beard. Of course. It's like they come out of a fucking factory. They always look like this. Why do they always look like... And you have gray in your beard too, so you should know better. You should actually know better. Holy fuck, you're way too old to be acting like that. Oh man, it's one thing to be acting old and like, you know, trolling and being a pissing and saying all this stuff, but you know, like, oh, your dad's dead. Also, you're related to a rapist. Also, haha, you were in the ring when your friend died. I don't know. Having gray in your beard and thinking, I love how it's always these kind of people also who will say things like, "Oh my god, you're traumatizing me by saying he, they, because you know he's that kind of guy. But the minute you actually call them out on their bullshit and they respond back with some of the most egregious shit, then apparently they're the victim. Oh god, man, fuck these people. I swear, fuck these people.
Javon Evans is going to be shining in the future when you see some of these guys that are older start to get away from the business. Javon Evans is exciting. It's his energy. It's his expression. It's his ability to make you feel. And that's just charisma and an innate ability to make you care. The match that he and Phoenix, they need to have more matches like that. I'm not ready for him to get in there in the championship category. You got to let him grow into the guy that he's going to be. He's got the potential to be a Booker T, a Sami Zayn. Imagine when he grows up and he's got that grown man feeling inside. Let's revisit this conversation in a year from now. Let's see where Javon Evans is. The future is really, really bright. Javon Evans, I'm sure he's not making big time player money. He's making a nice little hunk of change, but I guarantee you his next contract, they're going to pay him through the nose because they don't want him to go nowhere else.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Does he deserve less?
No.
Because he's young and that dude will be wrestling 20 years from now.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you just got to wrap your brain around that for a second. If he's 20 or 21 years old, with his talent and the way that he understands the business, and guys, he's going to slow down in about 12 years.
Yeah.
And then in about 15 years, he'll be in his championship area. The last 5 years of his career, if he's blessed to have 20 more years. There's no rush.
So, let's just jump directly to the comments because, that's a hell of a take from Mark. Let's see if anybody is gonna reciprocate that same energy or reciprocate those same feelings Mark Henry was just saying right now. This one guy says, "Fuck no. This is the problem with this dumbass company. They keep pushing wrestlers 35 and above. Only they need to start making wrestlers in their 20s world champions. That's how you make stars, bro." Let's see what this other comment says, because that one was kind of illiterate, although I understood the point. "Tired of these oldies thinking these wrestlers in their 20s can't be the right now, rather than having them wait until they're older, less athletic, and less hungry to be in the spots they're working to get to. Imagine wanting The Rock to wait until he was in his 30s. That's a good point. That's a solid point. This person says, "That's the problem with old head wrestlers and growing wrestling in those eras. They genuinely believe you have to be in your mid-30s and up to be ready, worthy of world champion." Again, what is with these people? Do you people even know what the fuck grammar is? But I understood most of the points, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I absolutely agree with them. I can see Mark's point in regards to like getting them ready, or them not being ready until they're in their 30s, more mature, more seasoned. But it's like, doesn't that speak to how shitty of a training program you have if you need that long to get those kind of guys ready? Like, if those guys need that long to get ready, then stop wasting all resources on them and focus on people who can get ready and who can be in that position and who can look formidable and look physical. Why won't you put more time and effort into them? And like that guy said, they used to do that a lot back in the 80s as well, when they put so much time and effort on guys who, you know, traveled around the territories and stuff like that. But their excuse was the territories, right? Right? That was just the way that it is. That's no different than, you know, a comic, you know, going onto a stage and some comedy clubs in their local area and trying to try out jokes to see if they're going to work at the Apollo or some shit like that, right? Versus nowadays, you could just jump on YouTube and get famous that way. Not that I'm advocating for that, right? But if you have the talent, then at the very least, people are going to see your talents outwardly, and then you're going to have longevity within your actual space, right? I mean, look at Drake, right? Look at Drake, the rapper. I think, and someone can correct me, but as far as time on top, you don't have to like Drake. I surely don't. I don't give a fuck about Drake. But just objectively, there's no rapper in the history of rap music, maybe Eminem, and I don't know if you even really want to include Eminem considering he's been in and out. I mean, like, consistently. I can't think of another artist, or another rapper at least, who has been as consistent as Drake from 2008. I think I heard him for the first time 2009. I think I was like literally still in high school when I heard Drake, to like right now. Dude's been consistent as fuck. You know why? Because he started at a young age. How old was Drake when he first came out, right? Probably like 21, 22, around that age frame. And he's now just approaching his 40s. We're talking about nearly 20 years of output. Consistent output, because of the technology that surrounded him and for him to take advantage of, and the outlets for him to take advantage of. If you have it, then fucking use it, right? Look at the Attitude Era, right? That's when it started to be more, it started to come more into form, right? And look how many talents are still siphoning off of Undertaker. In 1998, Undertaker was 33. Austin in 1998 was around what, 34 years old, right? Not even 34, like 33, 34, around that age range in 1998, because Austin, I think his birthday's in December. Triple H in 1998 was 28, 29 years old. The Rock in 1998 was 25, 26 years old. These are the heavy hitters. Kane in 1998 was around 33 years old. 33 was Kane. And it goes on. And actually, no, Kane wasn't 33. Kane would have probably been around like 1998. No, not even 33. Kane would have been like 31. 31 years old would have been Kane. That's what they're talking about. As time starts going on, look at Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle, when he debuted for WWE, was like, what, 30 years old? 29, 30 years old? Jericho, when he debuted for WWE, and he was seasoned by that point. Jericho, when he debuted, was like, what, 28 years old? Benoit, Eddie, both of them were like 31 and 32 years old. But you want to push people like Joe Hendry when Joe Hendry is like, what, pushing 40? Look at the women on top right now. Becky, Charlotte, they're like 40 something damn near. Fucking, what's the girl's name? Bailey? She's like, what, in her mid 30s, like 36, 37, 35? When your youngest talent is someone like a Sasha Banks in AEW, who's like, what, my age, like 33 years old, you have a problem. When the younger age starts to be older than people who were tenured at that point in time, like Triple H and The Rock, you have a problem. So no, Mark Henry is not wrong in the sense that I can understand his point as far as being seasoned, but he's wrong in the sense of, do you or do you not have the tools to actually create stars at 20? You do. So why aren't you making use of it? And if you don't know how to make use of it, then maybe you're the problem. Ever thought about that? Ever thought about that? This is why I love wrestling. Screw anyone who complains about it being fake. The point of wrestling was never about how real it is, but realistic one can make it and still be entertaining. And once realism is it the window, it's about how much fun can they have. I swear, like, did everybody just headbutt concrete today? What the fuck is going on with the grammar today, bruh? I can't even read your shits consistently like I want to because you guys are making me lose brain cells in real time. Excuse me, I just, see what I mean? It's contagious now. The kind of thing all the quote-unquote real wrestling fans bitch and cry about in spite of everyone having a fun time because it ruins the sanctity of buff men in tights pretending they want to kill each other over a belt. Okay? Let's see what this guy says. This guy says, I'd arm Jim Cornette with a flamethrower and drop a GPS pin for this outlaw mud show shit. Now all these comments are referring to this video that I'm going to show you in a minute. Now, personally, you know what? Nah, let me not give my take first. It's only best if I show you the video first, all right? So here, check this out, and you tell me what you think about it, okay? You tell me. You know, I'm actually kind of conflicted when I see situations like this, because although I agree this is Bush League garbage, at the same time, it's like, are they really necessarily hurting anybody? Like, they're in their own little world, they're in a building with a bunch of like-minded people such as themselves, they're not fucking with anybody. I guess in hindsight, it's not really that big of a deal when you're taking it, like, you know, at face value. I think if you're going to ask me deliberately what's the problem with this, and you're gonna say like, oh, you know, fake wrestling this, fake wrestling that, and I seen one comment who brought up like, oh, you know, how do you guys feel about Hulk Hogan if you're gonna criticize this? I think for me, it has more to do with not necessarily the gimmick that's being portrayed or the foolishness that's being portrayed in the ring. I think it's more so how serious you're gonna take it, right? And I don't mean serious in the sense like you can't have ha-ha in the ring, but serious as in like how far are you willing to stretch it before people actually just kind of roll their eyes at how campy it is, right? And it's like, when you do stuff like that on a more national level and then people see it, then, you know, you might automatically, and this is more so speaking if it's like spanning, right? Like if it's a one-off thing, I feel like it's not that big of a deal. But like when you do it and then people gravitate towards it and then you build up influence for it, but the only people that's gravitating towards it based off of the influence are, I don't know, a bunch of people who otherwise, I don't know, would be watching wrestling regardless. But then there are other people who are sitting out who are thinking this is stupid. And it's like all the things that wrestling has paved the way for to build up now gets thrown out the window because you have so many people who are doing this thing. And if so many people do it over time, and don't say it's not true, don't say it doesn't happen, because obviously you have someone like Orange Cassidy, right, who's now being presented as somewhat of a serious character, even though he's a goofy character at heart. And I think most people see things like, you know, Austin or Rock or all their childhood stuff, you know, get taken and blown up to pieces because you see this and its influence can lead to an Orange Cassidy, and then what can an Orange Cassidy inevitably lead to, right? It's not even necessarily saying, like I said, in a scope that this is a bad thing, but if done and then done enough times, at least on a national level, it could be leading, and it's kind of like, you know, almost like that gateway to more stupidity that can harm professional wrestling overall. I feel like when it's done in spurts, it's fine, as long as you make it known that these are goofies, right? You bring them back to the ring, they get their asses kicked by the main characters or whatever, that's fine. But you have to make it known that it's goofy. You have to make it known that these people are goofballs. You have to make it known that these people on this show that are going up against a bunch of jobbers or going up against another bunch of, you know, characters or whatever, that these are all on the same level and they're all low levels. If presented in that manner, I don't have a problem with it. But when you try to present it as, hey, everybody, wrestling is fun and you shouldn't be taking it too seriously and all this other kind of bullshit, I don't know how I should be taking you as a fan, because I feel like there are things in your life, hobbies or things that you like that you take extra serious that no one else will take serious as well. Like it could be a football game as well, right? Anything can be taken seriously at face value. And if you feel like it's okay to dismiss it simply because you don't care about it as much as the next person, then why should I take your opinion seriously to begin with, right? But that's just my opinion when looking at it. In a scope, I don't think there's anything bad with it, but it does have ramifications that, yeah, I can see why people would be upset about it if taken to its natural conclusion. But let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below as to how you felt about today's video. I would love to hear your thoughts in regards to this particular indie show promotion thingy majigabob with the Mario bullshit. I would love to hear your thoughts in regards to that. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like it's okay? Would you like say to yourself, man, that's a little bit too much for me? I would love to hear your opinions in regards to Mark Henry and, you know, his thoughts on Age and Javon Evans. How do you feel about Jimmy Corderas having to go back and forth with a neckbeard? And Sean Ross Sapp, is he in the right to feel the way that he feels? No, he's not. I'm just going to say it for you outright. He doesn't, because he's going after an account that's explicitly saying that they're a joke account. So no, he doesn't. But you can pick on him in the comment section. I'm okay with that as well. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Most likely I won't be back tomorrow because it is Thanksgiving. gonna be with my loved ones, gonna be eating some good old food. So I'll be catching you guys on Friday instead. So with that being said, happy Thanksgiving, and don't die from a heart attack. And if you are, leave me your inheritance. A deuces and a P. Eyes.